Tips and Dad Tips, episode 15. We're on to the next one. We're straight into it with a Jack and Coke, which is the default setting for my Sips and Dad Tips podcast, where we discuss all things dad tips, dadding, parenting, I guess. If you do have any suggestions for drinks or discussion points, let me know in the comments. There is also in the description below a link to a Google form where you can submit a question anonymously, or you can get in touch via an email. You can leave a comment. Tell me, what would you like to hear spoken about, talked about? What would you like to unpack? Is there a suggestion that you'd like to give? In this episode, this is something that happened on the weekend. We went out for lunch to a shopping center that we have gone to a lot, and there's a playground, an outdoor playground there where the kids can run around. It's all caged off. Very fun, very safe, very cool. And it hasn't changed, the playground. It hasn't changed at all in the last 8-9 years that we've been going there. It's been a while. It's been probably a few years since we've been there, or at least since I've been there with the kids as well. And I remember going to this place with the boys, either just us, most likely with wifey most of the time, right before COVID. Then after the lockdowns were sort of open, we could go out to places and just to go somewhere with the kids that I could play. And they were 2, 3, 4 years old, playing on all this equipment, the same equipment that I watched them play on the weekend at 8 or 9 years old. And they just looked instantly so much older. Like, you know how you see your kids every day, you don't really notice them changing too much until like a milestone or until like something happens. You might look at them a certain way and wow, you've just, where's the time gone almost? And I know I've heard that, you hear that a ton from everybody. The time goes so fast. You blink and you miss it. And it is true. I've never thought that people were crazy for saying that. I get it. I'm there with you. But it was just amazing because, yeah, seeing them play together now, 8 and 9 years old, didn't even look back at me and mum twice. They were just off, started playing, not even on all the equipment. They would go up and down, anything there, didn't really matter. There was a flying fox there where the handle, we hold onto the handle and you slide across this bar onto the other platform. I don't know if they call it something different in other parts of the world, but here it's a flying fox. The handle wasn't there, so it was just a little chunk of metal hanging down from the little this pulley system, and my eldest could reach it. My younger son could not reach it, and so my eldest was sort of like they were throwing it to each other on either platform and just like flinging it down to each other. But then, like, it was stuck in the middle. My eldest would go and try and flick it to the other one. And it was, I remember being there with them when they were 2, 3 years old, holding them up on this flying fox while bringing them across. They obviously couldn't hold themselves up yet. And I'm just, bringing them across. They're pretending like they're holding it and just taking turns, giving each of them a turn on that. And then they didn't look at us twice. Like I said, they were just playing with each other. Just before they were all like, Mummy, Papa, come play with us, come play with me, or like, follow me, follow me, follow me. And now didn't even notice. They were just off. Going on the seesaw together where we'd have to hold them before and like encourage each other to join the other one on different parts of the equipment. They were just off there doing their own thing. And they just looked so big on the equipment that I watched them play on when they were like 2 and 3 years old. And it's just that sudden realization. It had so much changed. It has gone that quickly. It was just like a moment that it really just sunk in. Like obviously I'd like to consider myself pretty observant. So there are plenty of times throughout the years where I'm like, damn, they're getting older. They'll say something very intelligent. Like they'll use a word, just perfect context, and a word I would never have expected to hear him say yet, and just like, wow, you guys are getting smart. But I can't. It's just hard to explain how this situation where I've seen them on this one playground as a young, toddler age, and then haven't been there for a while, and then seeing them back there again a few years later, and just realizing just how big they are, how tall they're getting, how mature they are compared to before, and how they interact with each other, how much they were just enjoying each other's company and giggling rather than they were playing together, rather than when they're a bit younger, they're sort of like parallel playing. They're playing by themselves but next to each other a lot. Like it's hard to get at those ages, kids playing together. It's not really something that exactly happens the way it does now. So I just thought that was mind-blowing. It's just an experience I'll never forget that. Just sitting there for 5 minutes watching them play and do that. It was amazing. So yeah, man, the kids are getting older. How do we handle that? Has anyone else had that sort of experience happen to them where they've just like, it's just clicked? Like, yes, time has just flown and it's just like, bang, noticed it right now. And then it just makes me start thinking about what's about to come. What's going to come in the next 2-3 years? My son's almost going to be a teenager very, very soon. 10 plus years old, an age that I can vividly remember. And at that age when it's kind of like a tricky age where you kind of want to be spoken to a bit more, less like a kid. You don't want to be spoken to exactly the same as a kid, but also you don't want to miss out on doing kid things. But at the same time, you're starting to feel like you're too old to do things. And awkward. It can be an awkward age. So, man, that's around the corner. And it just makes me think, like, am I doing enough? I'm kind of like self-conscious. Am I still seeing them as little kids? Have I been babying them or talking to them? Surely not, because I do try to joke with them like I would people my age, making jokes and like doing dad jokes and things like that. I don't know. It's hard because I don't want them to feel like I'm still babying them, but I don't want to talk to them too old and miss out on a few extra years of them just being a kid. It's hard to explain, I think. What am I doing on making my own podcast when I can't even explain my thoughts? It's just a tricky situation. And we're now with our youngest, our 7-month-old, she's reaching certain milestones, and I mean, that's flown by too. So, but I think both wifey and I are both more conscious about trying to enjoy each of the little moments. As we had the two boys within 12 months of each other, it's kind of like we'll leap from one to the other, but like back and forth, different milestones. We didn't really get a chance to sit, appreciate what was going on too much, and sort of bask in the time that we were in, because we were stressing about the next thing for the other one. So this one, the youngest, I am definitely trying to just appreciate the little things again. Probably did happen a little bit with our first, but then when the second came along, it was harder to enjoy from that 12-month plus sort of age. So the first few months now, she's sitting up, she's crawling, she's giggling, and I love the giggling. I love the babbling. We're trying to get her to say papa and mama. And so she's on and off. Now she's kind of like just sounds out of her mouth. And just nonsense. And so that's super cute. I'm happy because when she looks at me, she smiles. If I come home from a day at work and I walk in the door and she notices me there, she smiles. She'd be on her tummy and she'll just like kick her legs like she's swimming and just be super excited. I I love that. I've always loved that when the kids do that. So I'm hanging on for her to do that for as long as possible, because that's definitely one of the most enjoyable ones. Making her giggle and laugh. That's the best. And it is a joy to see the boys, now that they're a little bit older, they are really good older brothers already. They're very attentive to her when she needs it. They'll give her space, but if they're focused on her, the focus they have is so cute, and they're very wary of her and what she needs, and that she can't understand what they're saying, but they'll still speak to her like in a happy tone, and they'll be trying to tickle her and get her attention and show her toys and play with her, make sure she's safe. She's got pillows around, so if she's sitting up, she won't just fall on her face. And they're really good with trying to help out if maybe wife and I are busy doing some other stuff, and she'll crack it for a minute or two, that they'll come give her attention and sort of smooth it out. They're just, it's, man, as a parent of multiple kids, I'm sure that those things happen a lot, and it's nice to be in a position right now to enjoy them. And I think that's something, it's a lesson, I guess, for everybody, especially myself, to remember to keep enjoying those little things. Watching my boys make my daughter smile, and they're smiling at each other, and just a complete, they don't even know what each other is saying, but they're still making each other happy, and just watching that look on their face, I think is just amazing. So I don't know what the message was for today's episode. I've just started rambling about stuff, I guess, at the end there, but seeing that sudden, it almost like was a sudden age change overnight. Just seeing him playing at a different age and just realizing how much stuff has changed. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Tell me. I'd love to hear from you guys out there. If you're listening to this, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here right till the end. Not sure how long I should be making these for. Like I said, we're just going to be rambling about stuff when it comes up. So if you do have any suggestions, again, let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Any tips that you have for me? Have you been in a situation where you feel like your kids are just growing up too damn fast? I know that's a common thing. Surely someone else out there has some sort of advice that I could follow. But again, thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, all that stuff will really help. Watch the other videos if you haven't seen them. I feel like there's a few good ones in there where I didn't just ramble. I sort of had more of a template about what I was going to say. This one was a bit more rambly. So if you do enjoy that, let me know. If you enjoy more structured stuff, let me know. My name is Mingers. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll catch you in the next one.